Today we come to you with another tragic story of a person being misgendered.
Disgusting. I just went through the Taco Bell Drive-Thru. And do you know how they greeted me? They said, "Hello, ma'am."
What's up, everybody? Rivera here, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world. Before we get started, I'm just going to ask that you like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to comment just to help me on the algorithm, but you don't know what to comment, just put a knife. Because you know somebody in the
2S LGBTQPIA+
community is going to come for my neck. Okay, so I'm beginning to think misgendered actually means when somebody figures out what you in reality are and addresses you that way rather than what you're playing pretend in your own head. And this time it happened at a Taco Bell drive-thru. So let's go ahead and hear them out.
Disgusting. I just went through the Taco Bell Drive-Thru
Okay, I'll agree. That is disgusting.
because I'm a whore for Taco Bell.
Now, I'm going to take issue with you saying you're a whore for anything, especially Taco Bell. Because in case you don't know what a whore is, if you didn't suck dick for your burrito, or if you didn't get your taco stuffed with sour cream, you're not a whore. You're not a whore for Taco Bell, and you're not a whore for anything else. A whore is an actual thing. I was a whore in my younger years. And trust me, going to a Taco Bell drive-thru is not anything like being a whore unless you're a cheap whore, and then you're not good at being a whore. And I still don't really consider you a whore because whores make money. But let's continue to hear you out.
And do you know how they greeted me? They said, "Hello, ma'am."
Hello, ma'am. They were actually polite with you. Thank God you weren't in a McDonald's because they might have mistaken you for Ronald and addressed you as the clown that you really are, which is what everybody needs to start doing with the people that for some reason want to try to make it seem like they're being victimized when people are trying to be as polite to you as they possibly can. People aren't trying to disrespect you, ma'am. People are really trying to treat you with more respect than you deserve. And if you don't know, right now people don't want to work at fast food anyway. Minimum wage just isn't cutting it, and to have to put up with people like you on top of it, and the fact that you think you're cool, there is nothing cool about you. There is nothing cool about your behavior. I remember when I was younger, I'm Gen X, I remember that the manic panic hair colors, which is what that used to be, now there's better hair color, but back in the day it used to be manic panic, and you would buy it at Spencer's, and it came in a little jar, and it was really vivid red or blue or yellow or green or whichever color you wanted to have, and when it would rain, it would stain your clothes. It's true. When it would rain, it would stain your clothes. That's what would happen with these manic panic colors. Now, there's better hair color, and I'm sure this probably doesn't bleed out like that. Anyway, neither here nor there. The hair color is great, is what I'm saying. But when I was growing up, that was actually a sign of cool people. That was actually a sign of people that didn't care what people think about them. Now, people get in this ridiculous garb, and they do all these things to draw attention to themselves just so that they can feel victimized when people have reactions to them. And I think it's time that we as a community, and I don't even mean the
2S LGBTQPIA+
community at this point. So we as a society is what I should probably say. I think we all need to band together and just tell these people, no, we're not playing your game. I'm sorry, hun. I'm sorry life didn't work out the way you thought it would. I'm sorry that maybe you didn't come from the best family. I'm sorry that maybe you don't have a support system now, because if you had any kind of support system, they would tell you, why don't you stop trying to pretend like you're something special, when really the problem is you don't believe that you're anything special. Otherwise, you wouldn't feel like you had to pull these shenanigans in order for people to pay attention to you. Chances are you don't get much attention online. Instagram really wasn't popping for you like that. I mean, you're a cute girl, but really you're not keeping up with the thoughts on Instagram. So you probably got like, well, what can I be that people will pay attention to? I can be non-binary. I can say that I'm trans now and nobody can question it. Well, you're right. Nobody's questioning it because you're still a girl. That's just what it is. You're a girl, not even a woman. So really, they shouldn't have called you ma'am. They should have called you kid. They should have been like, here you go, kid. Here is your Taco Bell. Now go shit yourself. Don't shit all over the internet. Shit your pants.
And then after handing me my food, said, Thank you, ma'am. Have a good day. Bitch!
Now, the fact that you think you should be able to be like, bitch, when you're talking about being disrespected, what makes you think you have the right to call anybody a bitch? I personally think that you only say this online because you know if you called somebody bitch in that tone in real life, especially a Taco Bell worker, you probably wouldn't be able to handle the smoke that would come your way. So it's very safe for you to be online right now and be like, bitch! I would imagine in real life what happened was they called you ma'am both times. You took it like the little girl you are, and then you got online and thought to yourself, I'm going to be brave now. I'm going to show everybody what a big they and them I am. I don't know what you consider yourself, but it needs to stop.
What about me says ma'am?
Okay, well, I'm going to stop you there really quick. Everything about you says ma'am. Every single thing about you says ma'am. But let's go ahead and let you finish.
I have a red mullet.
Okay, red mullet, green mullet, blue mullet, blonde mullet, brunette mullet, any kind of mullet, that is the official lesbian haircut. So if you're gonna go on the fact that you have a mullet, that is not an indicator. And if you're trying to say that a mullet now means they, them, that is cultural appropriation, and the lesbians are gonna end up coming for you, and you look a little soft to be playing with the lesbians. That's all I'm gonna say. That's as nice as I can put it, but go ahead, ma'am. I mean, can we just admit that a lot of what's claiming to be
to us LGBTQPIA+
these days, and especially the non-binary, the they and the thems, you're just basically suburban white girls that feel like you don't fit in anywhere. To you, it is a joke, and when people wonder why people have negative opinions about
to us LGBTQPIA+,
and they try to blame Dave Chappelle, and they try to blame Joe Rogan, and they try to blame anybody that really isn't the problem, and it's just addressing real things that are happening or real perceptions of LGBT and more specifically trans. Why is it we as a community never come after these people? Why is it we as a community never look at these people and say, hey, guess what? You might be the problem. And guess what? This might be why some people say gatekeeping is necessary. Because I hate to break it to you, but if you aren't going from male to female or female to male, you are not trans. Trans was short for transsexual forever, and all of a sudden it's been hijacked by these people that feel like they don't belong anywhere else and feel like they aren't getting enough attention, and more than likely were not picked up enough by their parents when they were a baby. That's why you want the rest of the world to coddle you now, because you clearly haven't gotten what you need at home, so now you're trying to make it all of our problem, and you should talk to a licensed professional and be like, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel like I have to pretend to be somebody I'm not in order to feel like the world's gonna pay attention to me? It really just does drive me crazy, because there really are trans people in the world. There really are people that suffer from gender dysphoria. And for those people, it is a very serious thing. It's not something that you put on or take off. Most of them would rather not be dealing with it, but it's its own thing. And at some point, as a society, we need to just put our collective foot down and say, we're done playing your games. We're done humoring it on any level. It's not cute. It's not fun. And you really need to go out and make friends a healthier way. Anyway, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. This has been Ty Rivera, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world.